I'm Governor Larry Hogan. Our state is taking unprecedented and aggressive actions in the fight to stop the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic here in Maryland. As you know, I recently issued a stay-at-home directive to ensure that no Marylander leaves his or her home unless it is for an essential job or for an essential purpose. I know how difficult this is on each and every one of you. There's a great deal of fear and anxiety, and the truth is that none of us really know how bad this is going to get or how long it's going to last. But I can promise you that there are a great many dedicated people doing tremendous things, working around the clock, and doing their very best to help keep Marylanders safe. In the days to come, we're going to need to depend on each other, to look out for one another, and to take care of each other, because we are all in this together, and we will get through this together.
This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, May 11th, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. To all the moms out there, I hope you had a beautiful Mother's Day. In a significant blow to the retail scene, we've learned that Nordstrom's will be closing in the Annapolis Mall. Earlier last week, the department store said that they would be closing 16 of their 116 full-line stores, and unfortunately, the one here at Westfield Annapolis is included in that list. They began notifying employees last Thursday. According to one of the employees, the last date will be July 15th. And Nordstrom's chief executive officer, Eric Nordstrom, said, "We've been investing in our digital and physical capabilities to keep pace with the rapidly changing customer expectations. The impact of COVID-19 is only accelerating the importance of these capabilities in serving our customers." Now, their subsidiary, Nordstrom Rack, which is located in the Annapolis Harbor Center, will remain open. And boy, Annapolis has really seen the demise of many of the larger stores in the area, including Sears, Brooks Brothers. We lost Chewy's Restaurant, Brio Tuscan Grill, Macaroni Grill, Modell's. The retail bloodbath seems to be continuing, and I'm not sure it's going to get any better as we come out of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Annapolis Boat Shows are coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, and they are planning to go ahead with their October shows at this point. We got a note on Friday afternoon saying, "I wanted to reach out to let you know that after careful planning and discussions with Maryland government and healthcare officials, the Annapolis Boat Shows are planning to host their fall shows this year in Annapolis, Maryland." Now, the two shows that were scheduled for the spring were canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and the Annapolis Power Boat Show comes in early this year on October 1st through 4th, followed by the Sailboat Show, which is October 8th through 12th. Obviously, part of this show is going to be a much reduced capacity, so if you are set on going to one of these shows, I would suggest getting your tickets sooner rather than later. You certainly can do that now. You can go to AnnapolisBoatShows.com. Tickets are on sale. I know October's quite a bit away, but with a reduced capacity, you may want to jump on those tickets now while they still have them available. A bill sponsored by State Senator Sarah Elfreth and championed by Mayor Buckley as well as County Executive Stuart Pittman will become law without the governor's signature. This has to do with the Resilience Finance Authority, and this legislation will play a critical role in the redevelopment plans for Annapolis City Dock. And what it does is it authorizes counties and municipalities to establish and fund resilience finance authorities who are able to issue and sell state and local tax-exempt bonds for infrastructure projects. This is one of the tools in the toolbox that the mayor wants to use for the $50 million development project on City Dock. If you like the idea of locally grown and locally sourced products and having a tough time in some of the supermarkets with some food, you may want to check out the Anne Arundel County Economic Development Corporation website. They have a whole section on there where you can find local farms and food producers that are open for business during the COVID-19 shutdown. All you do is go there, select a category, and you can see what's open and what's not. There are more than 24 companies that are categorized as COVID-19 open for business. Just scroll down there, and each business will tell you exactly how they do business, whether they've got curbside pickup, delivery, etc. You want to go to AAEDC.org and then work your way over into the agriculture part. Really a good resource because we do have an awful lot of farms that are right in the area that can help us out. And speaking of COVID, not much of an update here, but you want to expect Governor Hogan to formally announce the start of stage 1 of the recovery later this week. My guess is that he will have an announcement on Tuesday and an effective date possibly the 15th, which is Friday, or Monday the 18th. To any store owners and business owners that are listening, we are working on a resource kit that may help you figure out what you need to get open once again. And my hat is off to Severna Park High School Junior Delia Fishburne. Not many people may know of Delia Fishburne, but boy, there are some nurses that are really happy with what she is doing. She is doing a 3D printing project to create ear savers for face masks. And she was bored after the shutdown for a little bit, wanted to find out something that she could do. She was inspired by a cousin who was sewing face masks, and she found some digital designs online and got to work 3D printing these ear savers. And what they do is they hook onto the strings that normally go behind the ears, and then it goes behind the head. So it keeps it off of the ears, makes the face mask much more comfortable to wear. It takes about 5 hours to make 10 of them, and she has made more than 450 so far for COVID care nurses, delivery room and care teams, trace team members, as well as 150 for Hospice of the Chesapeake nurses. So my hat is off to you, Delia Fishburne out of Severna Park. And speaking of nurses, it is National Nurses Week, May 6th through the 12th. And back in April 16th to the 24th, the Annapolis Town Center and ArtFarm Annapolis partnered together to ask the local community to decorate colored pictures for a window mural they were making. The Town Center kicked in $10 per submission to go to the Anne Arundel Medical Center's Community Response Fund. There were 200 submissions. There was a $2,000 check put in, and it's a beautiful window mural. You can check out the mural when you're over at the Annapolis Town Center. It is below the Target on the main drag there. Or you can go to eyeonannapolis.net. We do have a short video there. And yet another fine example of a good neighbor partnering with a local business to do good for our frontline workers. Thank you both to ArtFarm Annapolis as well as the Annapolis Town Center. All right, that does wrap it up for the news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net for updates to these stories and more throughout the day. If you're someplace where you can leave us a rating or a review, please do that. And make sure your friends and family all know how to get a hold of podcasts, and make sure they subscribe to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief as well. It is Monday, so we do have Ann Alsina with your Money Monday report coming up. But first, we have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast, and he's coming up in just 1 minute. But first, Solar Energy Services.
Hello, Marylanders. This is Rick Peters from Solar Energy Services in Millersville, Maryland, wishing you good health and a rapid return to prosperity. Uncertainty is one of the hardest parts of our current situation. As we move towards our new normal, you may want to consider adding more certainty to your financial future by locking in the low cost of clean solar energy. The economics of solar are tremendous, and there's no better source than the trusted team at Solar Energy Services. Residential solar projects typically earn the homeowner 8 to 12% annually over the life of the system, with even better returns for commercial systems. If you have some downtime now, take advantage of our powerful remote design capabilities, allowing one of our experienced solar designers to provide a presentation, followed by a detailed, accurate proposal, all from a safe distance. Call us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net. Sunshine's are wasted, but together we'll get through this.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, May 11th. Okay, so we made it through the record-setting May cold over the weekend, and it's time to put that weather action behind us because soon it'll be more summer-like than spring-like across all of Anne Arundel County. But first, a few more below-average days with today and tomorrow near 60 degrees each day, along with some gusty winds as well, with a chance of some light showers this morning. Then comes Wednesday with sunshine and highs 65 to 70 before temps make it up to normal highs of low to mid-70s by Thursday, if not a few degrees warmer. Before the mid-Atlantic region then sees temps jump well into the 80s Friday through Sunday as high pressure finally settles in to the southeast of the region, drawing warmer air up into the Annapolis region from the deep south with its clockwise flow of air around center, with the one caveat to the late week and weekend warm-up being a threat of showers and storms each day, much like summertime. So finally, some good weather news after a very chilly last 3 to 4 weeks, though we'll have to get through a few more below-average days to get to the reward of Thursday through the weekend. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching DCMDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Store. And also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and use our website at dmdweather.com. so you can always stay weather informed.
Whether it's a fire, a hurricane, or a virus, Annapolis comes together. We've done it time and time again, because this is a town that gets it, a town that knows how to lift each other up when the world falls down. As we face this new challenge, I encourage our community to come together as we've always done. I'm Steve Samaras from Zachary's Jewelers. I pledge to lend a hand to support my family, my team, my neighbors, and the small businesses in our town. Together, let's do what we've always done.
Your money, managing and investing it can be confusing and sometimes scary. Here to help you put your financial picture into focus is Ann Alsina from CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Alsina of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. The market's posted gains again last week, and the S&P 500 is positive on a year-over-year basis, meaning your investments are worth more now than they were 1 year ago. It's like a tale of two cities. How is that possible given record unemployment, the ongoing shutdown, and high-profile bankruptcies like J.Crew and Neiman Marcus? There are several things that are impacting the market. First, the stock market is a leading economic indicator, meaning stocks are typically priced based on what investors think is going to happen, not what is happening. The market seems to be saying things will rebound quickly once the shutdown is over. We also have good news in terms of treatments and vaccines and clinical trials, and the increased availability of testing. In addition, jobless claims are decreasing, meaning the number of new people filing for unemployment is less. That indicates we are near the bottom of job losses. Consumer spending is also starting to increase. Overall spending levels are at 2017 levels, and growth in spending, while less than the beginning of 2020, is equal with last year. The market has also seen that there has not been a resurgence of the virus in Asian countries that are reopening, which is good news as Italy and parts of the U.S. reopen. This answers why the market is doing so well. But what about the bankruptcies? What's important to remember is that the current crisis, in economic terms, is a liquidity crisis, meaning businesses faced a sudden loss of cash flow, and not a solvency crisis, meaning the business is not able to sustain itself or it owes more than it can repay. If a miracle cure for the virus was announced tomorrow and businesses reopened, the vast majority would bounce back with the return of cash flow. J.Crew and Neiman Marcus were already in trouble before the crisis. The shutdown accelerated the pace of their failure, but it didn't cause their failure. So what do you do with this information? If you are still working, keep investing and work on building your cash reserves. If you can refinance, look into that as well. If you are out of work or struggling with reduced pay, reach out to every lender you have, mortgage, car loans, credit cards, and discuss forbearance options. As a last resort, tap into your retirement savings. If you're at home, this is also a great time to review your estate plan. Most estate attorneys are still meeting clients virtually. You can download the Maryland State Statutory Power of Attorney and Medical Directive forms from the State Attorney General's website. Confirm your beneficiaries are all correct and up to date. And if you have a big pile of documents that need to be shredded, CovingtonAlsina is hosting a community shredding event on Saturday, May 23rd from 2 to 4. Details are on our website. It's free, but we will be accepting donations for Feed Anna Rundle at the event. We also have 3 more virtual events this month covering the current market volatility, taxes, and Social Security. Visit us at CovingtonAlsina.com or on our Facebook page to learn more. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. CovingtonAlsina and Great Valley Advisor Group are separate entities from LPL Financial. All performance references historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions voiced in this show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to investing. And if you don't have a financial advisor, or if you haven't heard from yours, come talk to us. This is Ann Alsina with CovingtonAlsina.
This is Brian Griffiths, the founder of Maryland Podcast Month. Maryland Podcast Month was founded in 2018 to draw attention to all of the great podcasts and podcasters here in Maryland. And during this time of social distancing, there is no better time to start learning more about locally produced podcasts. Shows like my podcast, Red Maryland Radio, Eye on Annapolis, the Conduit Street Podcast, JB's Drive-In Podcast, the Maryland Crabs, Quality Time, the Society Fringe Players, and more are still putting out fresh content. Visit MarylandPodcastMonth.com to learn more about these great Maryland podcasts. That's MarylandPodcastMonth.com. And we thank you for your support of local content.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.